Fresh fighting has reportedly resumed in northern Ethiopia, threatening the distribution of humanitarian aid. Fighters from the rebel TPLF based in the Tigray region have confirmed fighting, claiming they were responding to attacks on their positions by pro-government forces in the neighboring region of Afar. Afar authorities have accused the TPLF of attacking towns located on the border with Tigray. Let's get the latest from our correspondent Girum Chala, who's live for us in Addis Ababa. Girum, reports of another conflict in the north. What do we know so far, and what is the government saying?
Penina, the accusations and counter-accusations are coming both from the TPLF side and the Ethiopian government side. As you've said, the conflict has resumed. This can be reported now, but it is in the Afar regional state between the Afar Special Force and the TPLF fighters themselves. The Afar regional state has officially reported that TPLF fighters have been firing machine guns and also using heavy weaponry to attack different locations, including civilian locations in the Afar regional state, killing perhaps scores of people. The TPLF is saying that they are responding an attack waged by the Special Force of Afar, so they have continued the fighting. But in the middle of it all, the problem now is the humanitarian activity is being disrupted. So in general terms, what we can confirm is although war has subsided in almost all areas in the northern part of Ethiopia, which stayed for more than perhaps a year, there is now a beginning of yet another round of conflict between the Afar regional state and also the Tigray regional state fighters.
There have been hopes, Girum, of a complete end to the conflict. What is the progress so far on the peace process led by the AU envoy Olusegun Obasanjo?
So, Penina, there are two ways of explaining the peace process. One is a domestic initiative, which is called an all-inclusive national dialogue. This is the government's initiative, which is now under preparation as per the Parliament's endorsement of the rules of engagement. And almost all parties, including those in the Tigray regional state, are invited to take part in this dialogue, a national dialogue, which may or may not include TPLF itself, but there are also other opposition political parties based in the Tigray regional state. They're expected to take part. The other one is, as we've said, the African Union initiative, led by former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo himself. President Obasanjo has been, undertaking shuttle diplomacy between Addis Ababa and Mekelle, the headquarters of TPLF, that is, speaking the rebels and also the federal government, including Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed himself. There were proposals the last time we've heard that the government and the TPLF leadership was expecting from Mr. Obasanjo so that he can show the way that, according to him, what would be a viable or trusted way of bringing these two parties for a round table discussion. But so far as we know, that initiative seems to be stalled somewhere. We have to hear from the African Union what they have to explain about this, but so far there is no progress from their side. But the internal dialogue, the domestic initiative itself, seems to be happening anytime soon, as the government freed opposition leaders from prison, including those which belong to the TPLF, and others are also considering ways of engaging with the government. So the peace initiative has two faces. The domestic one seems to be progressing. The one from the African Union side, we have to wait and hear.